Elise Stefanik, who was the youngest female member of Congress and was the rising star of the moderates, and was critical of Trump, and then just somebody gave her a Trump cookie or something, Trump laced marijuana cookie. I don't know what it was that just got her, since we'll talk about marijuana in a minute, that she became the diehard MAGA queen. And now she's gone. What the hell? Weird. I mean, in this story, you guys can tell me if you know something that I don't, because I only know what I've seen on the news. I have seen no explanation as to what the hell just happened. She was going to be the UN ambassador, or the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Understandably, that got pulled back because the majority in the House for Republicans was so slim, they were worried it was going to cost them dearly. And that was a sound strategic political decision. But it ended up being horrible for her because she went nowhere. There was talk of her being speaker. There was talk of her being Trump's vice president. They're gone. And then she was running for governor of New York, and Trump declined to endorse her, which people were like, what was that about? And now she's withdrawn not only from the gubernatorial race, but she's saying she's not running for re-election in the House of Representatives. What the hell just happened?
Maybe she was in the Epstein files. John, your thoughts?
Yeah, one thing that I think Mark's right, hasn't been explained. She was what we Congress reporters call a friend of Kevin. She rose under McCarthy. She's not a Johnson person. Scalise was a somewhat friend of Kevin. Steve Scalise, the majority leader, he gets to stay because he has the respect of the most of the conference, and he can talk to the conservatives and the moderates. Stefanik, not so much.
Yeah.
So there is something here. There was a falling out with Johnson before she announced that she was running for governor. She fell out with Scalise, and Trump is close with both of those gentlemen. So connect the dots here. And he talks to Scalise. Trump talks to Scalise a lot. He talks to Johnson even more. And they soured on Stefanik, and it's clear that they had the president's ear. And you know, they made up when they pulled her nomination for UN ambassador. She was the conference chair. She was the number 3 Republican in the House, just shot up the ranks, as Mark was saying. Rising star doesn't even really do it justice. And so she gave up the conference chair to Congresswoman McClain, who's not giving it up and refused to give it back to her. So they created a meaningless leadership position that had no real duties. Nothing. It was just, they put her name on the website basically and froze her out of decision making. So she wasn't really in leadership. So there was another falling out when the nomination was pulled. All of this went back to Trump. She said things about leadership, and you know, Trump has a really good relationship with those guys, and she criticized them publicly, and that was the end. And don't forget, 2 Fridays ago, I believe, it feels like a year ago, in the Oval Office with the 1980 Olympic hockey team, because she represents Lake Placid where the games were in New York State. She's in the Oval Office standing beside the president, who mentions that she's running for governor, and he didn't endorse. And he said, there's another guy, he might be good, he might be better, or something like that. And she just had to stand there. And I mean, awkward doesn't even do it justice.